Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Almost Martha, the French version. So, when I was in Paris, I went to La Foodist, which was a great place to go take some cooking classes, and I made eclairs. And they gave me this great recipe, and I went through the whole thing with Mark. Mark made eclairs too, which gives hope for all of us. And Stefan Jimenez was our chef that was teaching us how to do this. And today I'm going to try to duplicate what I did. So I've only done it once. They were delicious. Of course, I had help. So today I'm going to try to do it by myself. But you know what? Knowing that Mark made eclairs really makes me think this might not be so bad. Right? Oh, and I have my very special heavy-duty whisk that I bought in Paris at Julia Child's favorite store. We'll see. If my arm doesn't hold out, I also have my KitchenAid. So, okay, let's do it. Let's make some eclairs. And so we begin. I've been sort of measuring out my ingredients. Everything, of course, is in grams, which everyone says is really the way to go because you get, much more precise measurements. And I'll give you the approximate measurements in cups and stuff, but really there is a difference. If you don't have a scale, you should get a scale. It really makes things much, much easier. So I do need to measure my eggs. So I'm going to put this bowl on. I'm going to zero my scale back down, and it's going to help me, get a good measurement. My eggs, I need 120 grams of egg yolks. So right now I think I have 3 in there. It said anywhere from 6 to 8 eggs, but they could be, they didn't say in the recipe if it was medium eggs, large eggs, so it's really important to actually weigh these eggs because we're looking for 120 grams of egg yolks. Okay, I'm at 70, so here we go. I keep going. I've really sort of put off making these eclairs. I just haven't had it in me. So, and then, things turn and you start to feel better about things. Maybe it's the fact that the sun is out and spring is coming, but things look a little better, look a little rosier, and you're like, okay, I think I can tackle this. The important thing is just never give up. Never give up. Just keep going, keep moving on, keep going ahead. That's the most important thing. Life can get very challenging. See, I dropped that egg yolk in there and I just scooped it right out. Just keep going. You just keep going. No matter what happens. Okay. All right, let's see where we have it. Okay, we're at 121. I think that's close enough. That was 8 eggs. So I'm just going to put these whites away and wipe this up, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to whisk these egg yolks a little bit, and I'm going to add in some sugar, a little bit at a time. This is 100 grams of sugar, and that really, when I put it in the measuring cup, it was about a scant half cup. So it's important to measure, I think, using the grams. So I'm just whisking in this. Now, I have cornstarch, and it's quite a lot of cornstarch, really. It's 40 grams of cornstarch. If you're trying to look at the measuring cup, it's about 1/3 of a cup. So I'm just going to put that right in there. Let's see if I can get some more out in a second. Woo! Okay, careful. This stuff flies around. It flies around, so be careful whisking that in. Get the rest of it out of here. So this cornstarch is going to thicken this up. So what we're making is the crème pâtissière, or pastry cream, that will go inside these beautiful eclairs. So, all right, there we go. Now I'm using, free-range eggs, so there's a bit of an orangey quality to them. But boy, they sure are tasty. Okay. We're going to be whisking this in with a milk mixture shortly. So let me just tap that pretty good. Now, we're going to work on part 2, and we're going to need the stove for that. So we're going to move to the stove in just a moment. But right now, we're just going to add 500 milliliters, which is 2 cups. That works out pretty well. 2 cups of whole milk. To that, we're going to add a vanilla bean. So I have my 500 milliliters of whole milk, which I'm going to put right in the pan. And now I have a beautiful vanilla bean. And he helped me with this at La Foodest. All right, so we have our vanilla bean, which we're going to split. I'm just going to take my knife and I'm going to split that vanilla bean. And I'm going to put on something that might help you see it a little bit better too if I put it here. So I've split the bean, and now I'm just going to take my knife and I'm just going to get as much goodness out of this bean as possible. Ooh, lovely. That's all the good stuff right there. We're scraping the pod. And for those of you who've never worked with a vanilla bean before, I bought mine at Costco. So you can find them almost anywhere. So Costco has them, they'll be a good deal too. Okay, so now I've got all the goodness out of my bean, and we're going to put the inside of the bean along with the bean jacket right into the milk. Make sure I get as much of that as possible. That's where all the real flavor is. So when you see those flecks in like vanilla ice cream and stuff, that's what that is. Those are those flecks. It's all this inner part of this bean. So that's great. So now I'm just going to make sure all of these little flecks are in the milk, not on the side. Get them all in there. Each fleck is precious. Okay. All right. Now to the stove. Okay, I've turned my burner on, and we're going to bring this to a boil. I also just threw that whole vanilla pod in there too. So we've got all those little lovely flecks from the inside of the vanilla bean pod, and we got the whole pod too. So we're going to bring it to a boil, and then after it boils, we're going to remove that big pod that we put in there. And then we're going to start blending this mixture and our egg mixture together. Okay, we have a boil. I'm going to remove from the heat. I'm going to turn my little stove off, and I'm going to remove that vanilla bean pod, okay? Just going to stir this tiny bit. Okay. So now we have a delicate operation to perform because I'm just gonna pitch this. We want to get this hot cream into these eggs without cooking the eggs. We don't want those eggs to, you know, scramble. So I'm just going to add a little in this dish. And we're just going to start to blend the two together a tiny bit. Okay, so here's my lovely whisked eggs. I'm just going to add the teeniest bit, teeny tiny. Because there's more egg mixture than the hot mixture, that's what's keeping it from scrambling those eggs. A little bit at a time. And I poured it into this mixing cup because you just have a little more control when pouring it, you know, from the pan. Okay. It's very important for you to keep whisking. Just keep whisking, keep that mixture moving. We're just sort of drizzling the milk mixture in here. Okay, there we go. Great. Get some vanilla grains. Don't want to miss those. We don't want to miss those. So we have a bit of a dirty pan here. That's where the milk was boiled. So we're gonna switch pans. So here's that dirty pan. We're gonna switch pans. We're gonna start with a clean pan and we're gonna put this mixture right back in. But first, let's see the method used by Stéphane and Marc in Paris.
Now it's boiling, so start whisking it. I'm going to add some milk little by little. That's it. You can whisk a little bit faster. You make small circle and you go faster. There we go. Voilà, perfect. Okay, good. Alors, now you can put the whisk back in the pot. And I'm going to add this liquid in the pot and you whisk it at the same time. Yes. Alors, all the pots with your other hand is going to be easier for the mixing. Voilà, allez, whisk it. Parfait. So, you keep whisking until it's boiling, okay? Mm-hmm. Little by little, it's going to become very thick because you activate the cornstarch around 75 degrees Celsius. That's why we have the thickness on the cream.
Yes.
Okay?
So the dirty pan is off to the side, and we are going to pour this into a brand new clean pan because now we're going to turn the heat back on, and we're just going to keep whisking this until it gets a little thickened. So remember, we're making that pastry cream, which is nice and thick, and we're going to end up piping that into our eclairs. So I'm going to turn the burner on to about medium heat, and now we are just going to stir this. We want this to thicken up, and when it starts to thicken, then we'll pull it off the heat, and then we're going to chill it. So okay, here we go. Okay, slightly thickened. We're there. We don't want to thicken it anymore. Okay, I quickly washed my stainless steel bowl and I put it in cold water so it's nice and chilled. And I'm gonna put this mixture right in this cold bowl. Okay, all right. If I had a smaller bowl, probably would have been better, but I've got that in the refrigerator with something else in it, so I don't have it. But I really wanted this stainless steel bowl to keep it nice and, you know, cool. Okay. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So this is going to cool, but we also don't want it to form a film on top. So I'm just going to put a little plastic wrap directly on top of the chantilly cream, and then we're going to put it in the refrigerator. So you know what I'm talking about, right? We're trying to prevent sort of that pudding skin. We don't want that skin on there. We want all of this cream to be beautiful and usable. So just putting it right on top of it. And that will prevent that little skin. All right, so into the fridge. It needs to chill for at least 1 hour. All right, so this is the part that has me nervous. It's the choux pastry. So we're just gonna do the best we can together. So I have 125 milliliters of water in my pan, to which I'm adding 125 milliliters of milk. I'm also adding 100 grams of butter that I've cubed. This is unsalted butter. I'm just going to put it right in there. So now we're going to turn on about a medium heat, and we're going to melt this butter and bring it to a sort of a soft boil. So that's our goal. I also have 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar, and I'm just going to add that right in as well. My butter's starting to melt just a tiny bit.
And now let's jump back to Paris with Stéphane.
When we're good with this, when it's boiling and the butter is melted, we will put the pot on the side and add the whole flour in once. With the spoon over there, you start mixing it. When you have a mashed potatoes coming,
Yes.
texture coming,
Yep.
back into the induction, and we dry it for 40 seconds.
Okay, now we're going to add in our flour all at once. All at once? Yes, all at once. Now we're going to stir this. And what we're looking for is the consistency of mashed potatoes. And I think we definitely have that. And now what we need to do is let this dough just dry out a little bit. So we want it to, within just a little bit of stirring, about 40 seconds, we want to dry this dough out. It can form a ball. It's forming a ball. But this is a very important step, just drying this out. And we've had our 40 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to pull it from the heat, and I'm going to go back over to my workstation.
Let's look at that next step in Paris.
Parfait. Alors, now we're going to incorporate the eggs into the dough here.
Okay.
But very important to do it one by one. Because if you do all in once, it's going to become too liquid. It's going to take forever to mix it inside. Okay? So I'm going to start pouring the first egg and you start mixing it.
Okay.
C'est bon? Oh, sorry. 2 at the same time. Bon. But I know you're professional, so it's okay for you. Huh? For the next egg, when the first eggs are completely incorporated inside. Okay? Okay, parfait. Allez, clean the spoon with the spatula.
Okay.
And we're going to start with the pastry bag.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I think we are nice and shiny. We're very nice and shiny. And really, I did not use it in the KitchenAid for long. I just pictured Stéphane whipping that up, and I sort of took it about the same amount of time. So I think we're good. And I've turned on the oven to 350 degrees. I think it's supposed to be 180 Celsius. That's 356 degrees, so keep that in mind. But okay, now we're ready for our pastry bag.
Let's take a little pastry bag lesson with Stefan.
I work on this one.
Okay.
You open it like this, half size of the bag. When you're good with this, the pastry chip, you put it inside, make sure it goes all the way down. Perfect. Now from the outside, you hold it with 2 fingers. And we're going to cut the plastic bag 1/3 the size of the tip. We press strong on the knife to cut the plastic.
Okay.
When you're good, you put the bag into this container.
Aha, I don't have a container like this.
IKEA, $1.
Okay.
Okay, you order it online.
Yep.
On Amazon, next day you have it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And now you put the butter inside.
All of it?
Yes, all of it. Alors, me too, I'm right-handed.
Okay.
So my right hand goes on top of the butter, okay?
Okay.
And I twist the bag here. I twist the bag for 2 reasons. First, when I press, the butter doesn't go on the other side.
Okay.
Second reason, having the twist here, it gives me the pressure on those fingers to press the butter.
Okay.
If I don't have the twist, I have no pressure, very difficult to press.
Yes.
If I have the twist, my hand close to the butter, I have more pressure here, easier to press.
Okay.
Okay? Over here, my left hand, I just hold the tip with 2 fingers. And when I start piping the eclairs, it's easier if the tip touch the map.
Okay.
Alright? Allez. So my tip is touching the map now. Okay? And you
Yep.
see my bag is not like this vertical or flat. It's like, let's say, 30 degrees.
Okay.
Okay? So I press with this hand, right hand. I start pressing. When I have the right size, I start going down. I stop and I just go up quickly. Okay? So
Okay.
when I press, you see my eclairs,
Yep.
it's a little bit thicker than the tip. You just need to have the bag vertical and staying at the same distance in between the map and the tip, the same distance the whole time.
Okay.
If you are too close to the map, you will have a flat shoe, so it's not going to puff.
Okay.
If you're too high, you will not have a nice and round shoe. Okay? So over here.
My tip is touching the mat. Okay, so now as a final step before we put them in the oven, I'm just going to lightly brush a little egg wash because we want these to be nice and shiny, right?
The idea, you see, it's not shiny right now.
Right.
The idea is to bring all the pieces shiny.
Okay.
Okay? So we don't put too much egg and we go gentle because you don't want to lose the star design of the tip.
Correct.
Because this star design is going to help puffing more in the oven when they bake. Okay? Voila, just like that.
Voila.
So this is for the eclairs, and for the small shoe, you start from the bottom to the top.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Voila. You do that, you take your time.
Okay.
It worked. They puffed. They're beautiful and hollow and now ready to be filled with cream.
Okay, well, this is the point that I've really been worried about my arm. I probably didn't have to go to the mixer with the choux pastry, but, you know, that was helpful. This is where I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. And this is why I bought the big whisk. So our cream is not very cream-like at this point. It's very stiff and gloppy and all of that. So we have to whisk it until it's loose and nice and shiny. And this was where I could never get it shiny enough for him. So I think the big whisk is going to be helpful. He could go like 3 times faster than me. And putting this in the KitchenAid, he said, boy, be very careful because it could very easily turn to liquid. So, and if you do decide to use the KitchenAid, and if I decide to use the KitchenAid, he said, of course, to use the paddle, not the whisk. So here we go. Come on, Julia child, don't fail me now. You know, I have been working on my arms. So I think I'm actually doing better than I did in Paris. So that's good. By Jove, I think I've done it. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great. That's great. We don't want it to go liquid. It is nice and shiny. Thank you, Big Whisk. I think you did it. And now it's time to pipe. Okay, so you have to have an area to pipe into. And that means we're going to take our little éclair and we're just going to notch a hole in the bottom. And this is where we're going to put our pastry tip. So just a nice little round hole. And you can feel they're so nice and light and hollow, and that's perfect because that's where this cream is going to go, is right in that hollow. Now it's time to work on our piping. So, okay, careful not to overfill. You can always go back. So I'm just going to put it in here. We're going to fill. I'm going to fill one of these real quick. Okay. So there we go. You can feel it. It's nice and heavy on the inside. That's great. And I can. I was going to eat one, but there's another step we have to go through. So I'm just going to continue to pipe this cream right into my éclairs. You can feel the volume change as you're piping it in. I've filled all of these, and I can tell because they're nice and heavy, and that's how you can tell that you've really done a good job, is that when you pick them up, you feel that filling on the inside. Now I'm just going to finish these off with some chocolate on top. So I took it's about 170 grams of chocolate, really just 2 like of the big baking bars, and 40 grams of grapeseed oil, which gives it some shine. And I melted that over a double boiler. And now we're just going to do that finishing touch and put chocolate on top of our filled éclairs. Okay, well, I do have a lot more work to do because I have a whole pan of those little round choux to do. Look, these little babies, which is a great little bite-sized goodie, really nice little bite-sized goodie. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to eat right now to give you a nice taste of what these éclairs are like. Oh, Oh man. That is really good. Man, that cream is good. That is some good stuff. I don't know that you're gonna make it. But it would be fun to do with someone. Like Mark and I did them together in Paris. So it's a fun recipe. And it's really not that difficult. There are lots of steps, but really, really, really good. And how fun to be able to say, have an eclair. I made these. So if you want this recipe, just go to almost-martha.com, where you will find this along with all the other recipes that I've done. I'm covered in chocolate and cream, and I have more to do. But I'm so happy to share this with you. This was a really fun trip and a fun experience, and something I'll keep with me always. So thank you, La Foodist. Thank you, Stefan. And we'll see you next time right here on Almost Martha. And we'll let me say goodbye from Paris. Okay. See you next time. Bonjour. This is my fantastic instructor, Stefan.
Hello.
Who has helped us at La Foodist create these beautiful eclairs. And he is a fabulous chef and also creates dessert menus for restaurants all around Paris. So thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.